In other news, Kanlaon volcano recorded a 3-minute-long minor eruption from 8:05 p.m. to 8:08 p.m. tonight.
Every 17 minutes, another volcanic earthquake shakes the summit of Mount Kanlaon. Deep beneath the highest peak in the Visayas, magma is forcing its way through fractured rock at temperatures exceeding 1,100 degrees Celsius. And the pressure is building faster than anyone predicted. What began as routine volcanic unrest has become something far more dangerous. In the past 72 hours, Kanlaon has erupted twice, sent ash clouds to 10,000 feet, and forced international aviation authorities to issue emergency warnings across Southeast Asian airspace. 5volx has detected something deeply concerning. Sulfur dioxide emissions have surged past 1,100 tons per day. That's not just gas escaping. That's fresh magma degassing beneath the crater. The kind of chemical signature that precedes explosive eruptions. When a volcano emitting over 1,000 tons of toxic gas daily sits 4 kilometers from populated towns, how do you protect communities from an invisible threat? What happens when ash plumes disrupt air travel across an entire region? And why are volcanologists now warning that Kanlaon's current behavior could be the prelude to something catastrophic? Mount Kanlaon doesn't just dominate the skyline of Negros Island. It defines the geological reality for over 4 million people. Rising 2,465 meters above sea level, this active stratovolcano is the highest point in the entire Visayan region. The cities of Kanlaon, La Carlota, La Castellana, Murcia, and San Carlos all exist in its shadow, some literally within the danger zone. Stratovolcanoes like Kanlaon are the most dangerous volcanic structures on Earth. They don't just ooze lava, they explode. Their steep slopes channel pyroclastic flows at speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour. Their ash columns can reach the stratosphere, and their eruptions can shift from quiet degassing to catastrophic explosion with almost no warning. For decades, Kanlaon has maintained a rhythm of minor eruptions and steam emissions. Predictable enough that communities grew comfortable living on its fertile slopes. The volcanic soil is among the richest agricultural land in the Philippines. Sugarcane plantations climbed the lower elevations. Towns expanded toward the mountain. But February 2026 has shattered that comfortable pattern. The current crisis began in the early hours of February 13th. At 12:50 a.m., 5volx monitoring cameras captured something that sent seismologists scrambling. A sustained ash emission event lasting 17 minutes. Volcanic plumes rose 300 meters above the crater, drifting southwest toward populated areas. This wasn't a brief steam release. This was volcanic material being violently expelled from depth. The Tokyo Volcanic Ash Advisory Center, which monitors aviation hazards across the Western Pacific, immediately issued an emergency advisory. The timestamp read 1650 UTC. On February 12, which translates to 0050 Philippine time on February 13th. Ash clouds had reached flight level 100, that's 10,000 feet above sea level, commercial aircraft altitude. For context, ash at those elevations can destroy jet engines. A single encounter with volcanic ash can cause catastrophic engine failure. The advisory noted ash extending southwest, directly across flight paths connecting Manila to regional destinations. But February 13th was just the beginning. 3 days later, Kanlaon erupted again. At 5:10 UTC. On February 16th, which corresponds to 1:10 p.m. Philippine time, Tokyo VAAC issued another emergency aviation advisory. This midday eruption sent ash to flight level 90, approximately 9,000 feet. Airlines scrambled to reroute flights. Air traffic controllers across the region began implementing contingency protocols. 2 eruptions in 72 hours, both reaching near commercial flight altitudes, both occurring with minimal warning. The seismic data tells an even more alarming story. 5volcs recorded 6 volcanic earthquakes in just the 24-hour observation window covering February 16th. Each earthquake represents magma forcing through rock. Each tremor indicates building pressure beneath the volcanic edifice. This isn't unusual activity for an active volcano. What's unusual is the acceleration. Smithsonian's Global Volcanism Program documented the trend building throughout early February. Daily volcanic earthquake counts ranged from 1 to 7 per day. Gas and steam emissions were visible, reaching heights of 500 meters. But the sulfur dioxide measurements revealed the true danger. On February 7th, SO2 emissions measured 1,838 tons per day. By February 8th, that number had surged to 2,601 tons per day. The most recent readings from February 15th show 1,124 tons per day. These aren't small numbers. They indicate significant magma movement at shallow depths. Sulfur dioxide is the canary in the volcanic coal mine. When fresh magma rises toward the surface, dissolved gases escape as pressure decreases. High SO2 output means new magma is actively degassing. And magma that's actively degassing is magma that's preparing to erupt. 5volcs maintains Alert Level 2 for Kanlaon, designated as Increased Unrest. This classification carries specific warnings that most people dangerously underestimate. Alert Level 2 means sudden explosive activity can occur without significant warning. It means hazardous volcanic flows could be generated at any moment. It means the permanent danger zone, a 4-kilometer radius around the crater, is absolutely off-limits. The danger zone designation isn't arbitrary. Pyroclastic density currents, the superheated avalanches of gas and volcanic debris that kill faster than any other volcanic hazard, can travel 4 kilometers in under 3 minutes. At temperatures exceeding 700 degrees Celsius and speeds over 100 kilometers per hour, there is no survival within the flow path. No warning system fast enough. No evacuation possible. Yet communities persist at the danger zone boundary. Agricultural workers tend crops on the volcano's slopes. Tourists still attempt summit hikes despite warnings. The economic pressures of daily life compete with geological reality. What makes Kanlaon's current situation particularly concerning is the eruption style we're witnessing. The February events weren't massive Plinian explosions. They were ash emissions reaching moderate altitudes. In volcanological terms, they were warnings. Volcanoes often exhibit escalating behavior before major eruptions. Small events relieve some pressure, while simultaneously indicating that the magmatic system is active and evolving. The question every volcanologist monitoring Kanlaon is asking: is this pressure release or pressure building? The SO2 data suggests the latter. Sustained emissions above 1,000 tons per day indicate an active magmatic connection to the surface. The volcanic earthquakes confirm ongoing subsurface movement. The ash events demonstrate the system has pathways to expel material violently. All the indicators point toward continued unrest with potential for escalation. The aviation impact alone demonstrates how Kanlaon's activity ripples across international systems. Tokyo VAAC coordinates volcanic ash warnings across a vast Pacific region. When Kanlaon erupts, pilots from multiple countries receive alerts. Flight planning offices in Manila, Tokyo, Singapore, and beyond incorporate the hazard into route calculations. A single volcano on Negros Island creates operational challenges across thousands of kilometers. For the communities living on Kanlaon slopes, the challenges are more immediate. Ashfall contaminates water supplies. Sulfur dioxide causes respiratory distress. Agricultural losses mount with each emission event. And the psychological toll of living beneath a volcano in heightened unrest cannot be measured. PHEVolcs continues 24-hour monitoring. Seismic stations track every tremor. Gas monitoring equipment measures SO2 flux. Visual cameras record every emission. The data flows continuously to scientists who must make impossible calculations. How do you predict what a volcano will do next? The honest answer is that you can't predict with certainty. You can only monitor, warn, and prepare. Kanlaon's February 2026 activity has demonstrated that this volcano is not sleeping. The magmatic system is active. Gas emissions remain elevated. Explosive ash events have occurred twice in 72 hours. And every volcanic earthquake adds another data point to a concerning trend. The 4-kilometer danger zone exists for a reason. The aviation advisories exist for a reason. The alert level 2 designation exists for a reason. Kanlaon is telling us something. The question is whether we're listening. When sulfur dioxide emissions exceed 1,000 tons daily, what does that tell us about the magma chamber below? If 2 eruptions occurred in 3 days, what happens in the next 3? And when 4 million people live on an island dominated by an increasingly restless stratovolcano, what does preparedness actually look like? Kanlaon's current crisis is a reminder that we live on a geologically active planet. The same volcanic forces that created Negro's Island's fertile soils are the same forces that can devastate communities without warning. The ash clouds reaching 10,000 feet are visible reminders of invisible pressures building beneath our feet. This is the latest analysis on the Mount Kanlaon volcanic crisis. If you found this information valuable, subscribe for continuing coverage as this situation develops, and hit the like button. Stay informed, stay prepared, because when volcanoes speak, the wise listen carefully.